The goal of this exercise is to work on thoracic rotation while connecting through the abs. It is also great for working on back body expansion and opening up the area between your shoulder blades to be able to breathe there more easily. I recommend a foam roller for this exercise, but it can also be done by sliding your hand along a small Pilates ball, a yoga block, a rolled up towel, or even just holding your hand in the air. As you go through this exercise, keep in mind you want this rotation happening through your thoracic spine and not by shifting or rotating through your hips. Start by sitting up in a hands and knees position with shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Gently press the floor away, creating space between your shoulder blades without overly rounding through your mid-back. Pick one hand up off the ground, making sure you maintain the press through the other hand into the ground so that you don't drop down into that shoulder. Keep pressing into the ground through your armpit throughout the exercise, and this will work on some serratus strength. With your free hand facing palm side up, reach it through and behind your downside arm, placing the back of your hand on your foam roller or other surface. Slowly reach your free arm through, keeping the press through the downside arm, and feel your ribs rotate over toward the front of your hip on that down arm side. Basically, you want to connect your ribs with the hip on the opposite side. The rotation should come from your abs and thoracic spine, not from your lower back or shifting in your pelvis. This will not be as large of a range of motion as you might expect because we're getting everything really tight across the abs and not extending or collapsing through your chest. Hold the rotation and inhale into your back, sides, and hips. Exhale and see if you can reach through a little further, connecting your abs across your body a little more and keeping that press away through the downside arm. Try to do a series of 3 to 5 breaths on one side before switching to the other side. You should feel your abs working as your external obliques draw your ribs in and down toward your opposite hip and as your low TAs provide support for your whole core. You can play around with where your arm rotates in front of or behind this supporting arm. I recommend starting with rotating over and down to really help connect through the abs, and this can also help if you have a rib flare. It may also feel good to rotate sometimes with the arm going above your supporting arm to practice sending your breath into some different places. Finally, if threading the needle feels good, you can add the opposite rotation as you bring your arm back out and open your chest toward the ceiling, introducing motion to your thoracic spine in both directions. You may add more stability at your hips if needed to help isolate the movement in the thoracic spine by squeezing something like a yoga block or Pilates ball between your knees. As you rotate with something between your knees, squeeze your knee in on the side you're rotating toward to increase lower abs on that side. You can also have your feet against a wall as you do these and pull up on the wall to activate your hamstrings and anchor your pelvis. I go over this in much more detail in my video of breathing on hands and knees. If you feel pressure down on your pelvic floor at any point as you rotate, be sure you aren't crunching down, but instead keeping length through your spine the whole time.